Alright peeps, welcome to PCGamer Radio, and today we're looking at this game, 2 Point Hospital. Now this is firstly a strategy game, second simulation, and third a real puzzler. And let me get in and tell you all about it. I've been playing it for the last week, and oh my goodness me. When I first started playing it, I was a little bit confused because it felt too simple, but it soon went into its depth. And goodness me, let me show you. Now, there's like a huge world map, and you're going to be going around it, of course. I don't know why you can't control this with the mouse. I've got to use the keyboard, which is a little bit annoying. Anyway, annoyances around. When you complete the levels, you're going to unlock the next one, and other things like this. In fact, this one I can't even do it because I need a technology that I don't have yet, and etc, etc. Now, for the most part, this is going to be really easy going forward, as it's teaching you the game, and the teaching of the game will continue hours and hours into the game. Now, I'm going to come to Midtown University, as this is going to be a place you're going to be coming to every time you have research, for reasons you'll see when we go inside. And I'm going to be doing a complete redevelopment in here because I keep going back and it's a bit of a mess, so it's a good chance to show you, with my experience that I have now, how this hospital should change to be far more efficient than it was. Now, coming in here is an absolute mess. It does have one thing going for it, which is the people coming to the hospital come through the centre here. This is very important because if you've got your reception in a place and they're coming from a subway over here, you really need a reception near where they're coming from, because the walk could be 50 days and your patients are like ticking time bombs, and if any of them get to a point where they're getting close to death, you've really got to send them home, because getting no deaths in your hospital is important for reputation, and it will keep you busy sending them home. Now, let me show you then how this should be set up at the beginning. Now, I don't know why I've got these GP offices over here. It was something I just put in here because my GPs had like queuing for 100 people. Sometimes you get like these crazy things. So I'm actually just going to sell this and sell this to make some space. Now, when you are making your hospital, you'll have like one room like this, and then you're going to be buying the next property, etc. And you'll end up moving stuff. So this treatment bloody thing here. Right, let's move the staff room first. Come on, you. There. Now, if you want the if you want the perfect room, you want diagnosis of the GPs first. And what? It didn't move it. Give me a break. Come on. When I did play the original theme park in the 1990s, and I used to be a rogue seller of illegal Amiga discs, and I sold theme park to all my friends on discs. It came with, again, 3 discs, £1.50 it cost. And in our Catholic school in the 90s, there was one black kid allowed per 100 student in our Catholic quota. So the black kid was Kevin Kasam. He was a real gamer. And when he got theme park, we didn't see him for a week. And yeah. Now this treatment, what happens? They go to the GP, then they're going to go to the treatment centres. The treatment centres should be the next path. It should be GPs, treatment, and then up here should be where they're actually going to get fixed. So we are going to make this as excellent as we can. So we're going to be putting all these, and if you are playing the game, you're going to learn that this is correct. This thing here is treatment. You shouldn't be there. We need to move it. This GP center here, however, do you know, I'm just going to sell this and show you an example, because this GP room here is missing something. Now you're going to be wanting to put things in here. Filing cabinet gives you more diagnosis and treatment, so that's going to be wanting to go in every room. You can see about 24 in the hospital. The machine weighing here, this is going to add more to diagnosis, so if rooms can take the weighing machine, you put that in too. Hand sanitizer, this is going to be important to keep your hospital clean. You've got this everywhere. Most places are going to need a radiator or an aircon. No, this radiation box is good for diagnosis, so I'm coming in here from a higher level. And I'm going to put this in here. And the arm bot, which puts diagnosis up as well. So this thing is going to have to come in here. That is awkward. Let's put that there and here. Oh, and I need a couple of more things that I can put in. I forget. Artwork. There's a couple of these posters that you can unlock. If it says anatomy on it, it's going to be good for training. And if these are in your rooms with people in, you know, like this doctor here, the actual training level will go up a little bit faster. So that's kind of the perfect 3x3. Now let's copy that. This is going to cost me, there we go. The door says not happy, so come on. That plant is just in the way. Well, I'm getting like fiddly here, and you will be like fiddly and precise and things like this when you're making these rooms, especially when you're going to be copying them. Is there something there? There is. The door then. Come on. There is something satisfying about this game. Right, I want 3 GPs. So I'm going to copy you. And again, the door. We don't need that. There we go. So the GPs are going to come in here. They're also going to come in, this left part here is going to be redesigned also because it's inefficient going to the left. What we have here is a run place, ridiculously big. That's stupidly big. Treatment, that shouldn't be here. We should have more diagnosis here. So let's pick this up here. This next thing's going to be a big thing. Here it is, and I don't know why this room's so big. Alright peeps, welcome back. I finally redeveloped this right hand side so it's more efficient. Patient comes in, reception, goes into the GPs. They need further diagnosis, so they go into the next place. This room's full of diagnosis in here, as you can see. And once they're fully diagnosed, they can then come to the treatment center. In here, everybody's getting treated. The eagle-eyed of you will know that this is done by a nurse, this is done by a nurse, this is done by a nurse, this is done by a doctor, this is done by a, I want to say, doctor, and this is done by a doctor. Now, this level actually only requires these things. The big thing about this level is that when you're hiring staff, none of them have any experience regarding nurses and doctors, so you're going to have to train them yourself, and I'll show that on another level. But you're going to be coming, this is like the perfect route, and if you get like way more customers than normal, you can then copy this side to the left side. So you've got two arms of the machine working, which this douchebag gave some more marketing. Okay. Now you'll be coming back to Midtown University because if you've got research, of a new room, and you'll see that there are so many different types of things, including surgery, which needs a nurse and a doctor. You'll need to kind of research these, and research rooms are really expensive, like when you're building. So just you come back here basically to Midtown. The game will tell you that you can do this, and you can see there's so much room here. I can completely nail out something really quick. So just go for some kadosh. Now you're obviously, when you're coming here, going to just get your research in like this and bang it out. Stick it on fast and wait for it to come in. And it really takes not longer than a couple of minutes to do the full research. Sometimes you've got to go back to the other hospital to get the next unlock because, for example, this is stage 3 and it would have required more research to sort of upgrade these machines, but yes, this efficiency now is the beauty of the strategy. And the doctor will send the specific patient for certain diagnosis, so you can see this one's getting hit heavy with diagnosis because a lot of these kind of patients require this thing to figure out what's wrong with them. The research already come in, it's super fast, as you can imagine, with most of the staff trained up directly for research. Capture 2 ghosts, not going to happen, mate, because this hospital's super efficient and all super trained up staff. So again, if you feel like this is going to be busy, you can just replicate it on the other side of the hospital, which is an absolute mess, but it's kind of a legacy hospital, I'll call it. This is the new. This way, there's not going to be that slowness, because often there's a person going to die, so you'll click on the actual, pause it, spacebar, and you're going to have to send them home, and you'll notice that they've spent like a year in your hospital. And you're like, what have you been doing for the last year? And it's because the efficiency is all over the place. And there's another thing that can really annoy you. That's just the radio playing. A patient like this may go to diagnosis, and before they go to treatment, they're going to come back to the GP and ask the GP if everything's okay. Now this means you've got to have like 2 GPs on the road here to cover that kind. You do get more money though, but it takes longer with the patient, and certainly if you're on higher level hospitals, you can't put in a second more GPs here, because the time it takes to go to the GP, they'll have died before they get to treatment. So that you need to come into your policies. So let's go to overview, policy, and you need to take fast track treatment decision. You need to tick this because allows diagnosis staff, so your nurses and your doctors that are in the diagnosis section, to send them directly for treatment. I don't know why this is not on automatically, because going back to the GP for final diagnosis is ridiculous, and this, you have to turn this on every time, which is really annoying. That should be on all the time, because here I've got like professional doctors treating them here, professional nurses. They know what's wrong with them and they can send them straight up the pipe instead of back in here. Alright, Midtown University, I love you, and we'll see you soon when I'm on my next map. Let me tell you about some other hospitals. Now, Duckworth among build. This bloody level, got all these things going on. You get these public targets, that's the only way you can get money, because if you look at your prices here, you don't get any money for any of the treatments. You only get money through your cafes and your vending machines and arcade machines and all that stuff. So you've got to nickel and dime them with as much machinery and shops as possible on this map and do these public targets. It's really tough. You really feel like a hospital like, I can't afford to hire the best of the best. I mean, look at this doctors, and I shouldn't even be in there. What do you, I mean, look at the staff. It's absolutely appalling, the staff. And you can command people not to go in things like, you should be on research only. Get out of there. And these people just can be sent home. In fact, you're going to be sending loads home on this level because you just don't have the money for stuff. And it's really difficult, this map. You've got to do all these public targets. It's the only way you're going to get money, and of course through research. So you're going to be hamming the research to get your money in this level. And it's like a little mini boss because it's so difficult. And let me show you the hardest hospital I've faced today. And it was an absolute boss of a level. Welcome to Grockle Bay. This is like a mini boss. Look how big the hospital is. Oh my god. It's so outrageous. And this one needs like an attractiveness of, this is like a vaccine thing, and I just say no, because I hate doing this little mini thing.
The epidemic has ravaged the hospital.
Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I've got too much stuff to do than worry about bloody virus happening in my hospital. This thing has a ridiculous, it has 2 people coming out of both wings of the hospital. So if you only have one reception, they're almost dead. If you've got like your reception here, it takes them so long to go in here that they're already day 100 when they go to the GP. And you really need to focus tightly on this map. And honestly, I've got at least another 12 hospitals to go through, and they're all going to be difficult, it looks like. And I've really got to think about what I'm doing here. You notice the staff as well. It's kind of critical that you actually start teaching these. That guy can basically get fired. And because the person running that is diagnosis, and he doesn't need to run general practice. It's because I need to hire another one like this. This multi guy up here is very good for training the other staff, because training can be expensive if you're bringing in a specialist. So that this person can train all these level 1s if you hire them up. But you'll kind of see that your doctor's learning experience and then are ready for training the next level. There you go, that's a perfect doctor for radiology, how he's getting better diagnosis. You are going to be trying to train them like this so they're super focused. And this is a funny one, the X-ray, because it's doing diagnosis and treatment. And really, I have to throw treatment on that, because the amount of people that die in the X-ray for treatment because you've not got this is ridiculous. You probably you need to focus this a bit differently. And you can see the nurses here are all banging it out, so these are all great. But the figuring out of the level, figuring out what to do here, and how to crack the levels here, because there'll be like levels 1, level 2, level 3 going in. It's like fascinating. The puzzle is so fascinating. It really is. The speed is okay. I'd like the speed to be a little bit faster, but This guy bugging me, go away. But in the far reaches of where the patients are coming in, this is where you need your administration stuff, like your marketing section, your training sections, and basically just the barons of the hospital. I've got surgery right at the back here for some bizarre reason.
We may not know how to lose, but we cared about each other, and that's what counts.
Of course, the pair to hospitalize.
And I've had to mimic this wing over here, so it's diagnosis sensors going into treatments as best I could. I had to put treatments into the center because it was just taking too long, but wow, this level was so hard, and I really had to redesign and think about the critical path of my patients because so many people like this douche. 275 days he's been in here and he's still in diagnosis. Go home. Look, this guy going to die. He finally got to surgery because the hospital's so big. I can't like tell you how difficult it is in these big architectural hospitals to keep your patients alive. But this far up shouldn't have any buildings, basically. But you know, sometimes it's a bit thin down this end. It's not as fat as this end, so it needed that. But the game's going to be making you do crazy stuff, and there's a ton of hospitals out there and puzzles to work out, and it's delightful. The next ones I'm going to cut my teeth on because they've been getting harder and harder and harder. You notice here, this is locked. I have to do sweaty palms before getting in here, so specifically it's going to require technology from Sweaty Palms. I've got Mudbury and Fit Pocket Academy. That one sounds interesting because it's like another school, so I don't know what's going to happen there. And this one, there's going to be a music festival. So there's like nice themed levels happening all the time. There's one out in the middle of nowhere. Look at this guy. Wander Off. This is for those that just want to escape civilization. These are all locked because I've got to kind of do these here. These are like specific strange ones, but again, fascinating because they're going to bring in more things to the table. There's also stuff down here. And these are like island dwellers, so yeah, they're all going to have their own difficulties. They're all going to be bringing in something new. Not every hospital needs every type of building. It all depends on what illnesses are coming in that part of the world. And for example, up here where it's snowing, you're going to have more people coming with broken legs, so you're going to need bigger treatment centers for that. Again, like at the power station, there's going to be people coming in with accidents, and you're going to specifically going to be doing stuff where that's needed. So the game is a complete joy. I'd say mostly each hospital takes roughly 4 to 6 hours to do. So you'll be spending maybe a day on the hospital. Some of these big monster hospitals that I've shown you took almost 2 days to do because they were like mini bosses of difficulty, like really high difficulty. But the stuff down here is kind of ready for me to start the path of these three, or down here. I think the ones over here are just ridiculously hard because there may be ones people avoid. Like they'll probably get 1 or 2 stars and then move on. Like the 3rd star's too hard for people to get. Be like chow bye. But that's the way it is. You don't. If you feel like that hospital's too hard, you can just leave it and move on. But I've been cracking those 3 stars before I move on, and it's been wonderfully challenging. And there's a couple of things I want to say more. You get career paths in here where you're unlocking career goals. This brings you a currency called Kadosh, and I need to go into a hospital to show you that. So Can I go in the very first hospital? The very basic one? Hog Sport. Tiny hospital. I can upgrade the drug mixer, why not? We have the technology now. You don't have that technology when you first come in here. Now, these items that you're putting down, a lot of these, you're going to have to unlock them. And I know that these people in the first game are like going to be hungry. So let's put them something down. Have I gone past it? A kiosk. You know, if you're feeling hungry, peeps. Where am I going to put it? In there. I'll get rid of that. These are good for keeping your people happy because they'll be complaining otherwise. They get unhappy. Need to hire an assistant. Oh, look at that guy. Right, so we're selling food. They might get bored as well, so you've got to give them some activities. I'm going to give them an arcade machine though. Put one there and... The detail's really, really cool though. I mean, like on this arcade, you can see they've actually got Sonic on it. So, you know, attention to detail is really fascinating. It really is. And there is an item I have been saving up for because this is like a shop to make your hospital better. And... there you go, the large fountain, 1,800, and it's a 12,000. This thing? There you go. These are just to attract attractiveness, but these big things can be useful, trust me. All this weird stuff here, like to make a dragon in your hospital, that is like 1,000 to get that. Let's knock that one out then. This is going to be the most ridiculous. I don't even know how big this is going to be. Let's see if I can stick it in here. Yes. A corner piece. I don't really want the corner piece, but let's end the dragon there. Okay, look at that, isn't it fantastic? It's super expensive though. And you get this Kadosh by doing achievements throughout the game and stuff.
Lonely.
There you go, there's a doctor getting some food in. The kiosk is so good to have because it sells food and drink. You've got this guy here selling... I prefer putting him right next to a wall. So with that... little bins. I've got big bins now. The hospital's like not even busy to justify this stuff though. But they, you know, this is the very first level that you come in and it's really simple and you don't have anything complex to do. Right peeps, that's been 2 Point Hospital. What an incredible game. You owe yourself to play this game if you like strategy games, especially ones where you're designing levels, Oh my goodness. Really hope the devs go on to make the movies that Bullfrog did, as that's one of my favourite strategy games. That should be great. But what they've done here is absolutely incredible. What a game. I can't wait to keep going actually and knock out all these hospitals as the difficulty is getting higher. It really is testing me as an expert in these games, as I've been playing them since I was a wee kid. So yeah, if you get to play this game after this review, please pop back and tell me what you thought of it and the increasing difficulty of the game. Or if you've already played the game and you're watching this video for some reason, tell people down below what you thought of it too. Well, thank you so much for watching. Please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I'm playing loads of interesting games as my RTX 980 is still holding up as I can't get an RTX 3000 series. So hashtag RTX 4000 series. Wait for it, yeah. Until then, peeps, you take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and bye-bye for now. Take care. Well, thanks for watching. And if you remember, you can please subscribe and like the video. And don't remember, you can also hit the bell for notices on the channel. Yeah, we've also got a Twitter you can see on our banner, so check that out too. So take care and bye-bye.